Hey guys, Hamsterwheel here with a new video, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the state of WoW and the state of the content creators and everything WoW related on YouTube and Twitch and just the whole kind of giant shift that is happening in regards to Blizzard and World of Warcraft. I felt like I wanted to make a bit of a video about certain topics I want to talk about, and I felt like, you know what, I don't want to really make any huge fancy over the top editing or anything. I just wanted to speak my mind a little bit and talk about what's been going on and kind of weigh in. It's going to be a bit of a chill video, nothing super serious. Just me leveling on Darrowshire, a new vanilla private server that I launched that I talked about in a few videos. And I don't really have any major plans here, by the way, but I just wanted to have some eye candy in the background for you guys. So, unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably noticed that Blizzard is going to have some trouble right now. I mean, many people, I don't think I've ever seen this many people jump ship when it comes to World of Warcraft. I've seen people sometimes take a break and then come back, but it seems that a lot of people are, either taking a break or just completely done. I mean, you see content creator after content creator just being done with World of Warcraft. Whether it's because they're just bored with Shadowlands because there's a crazy amount of content drought, whether they're not happy with Classic. Jesus Christ, can you dive for damn. These mobs are tough. Whether it's because of the lackluster management of Classic TBC of course, or just in regards to their ethics about the whole situation that came out with the cube crawl or whatever you want to call it, the Bill Cosby room, just despicable shit like that. So yeah. I mean, it's just crazy to see. I mean, as a YouTuber, of course, as a content creator, even though I don't really focus that much on retail WoW, and it's been a while since I focused on classic WoW, I still kind of stay in touch with the community, so to say, and just, watch people's videos. I mean, from the more bigger YouTubers like Beliar, Asmongold, of course, and a couple of others, to the more smaller content creators, even people like, Defcamp and Melderon. Defcamp saying he wants to try other things and everything. So there's just more people and more people are just moving away from, classic TBC or just Blizzard. I mean, I remember when Shadowlands came out, people actually thought it was a decent expansion. And now I think people just really don't like it. I mean, it's almost as bad as BFA is what I hear people say. And it really seems like Legion was the only decent expansion or decent / half good expansion Blizzard has brought out. When I see the feedback of the community, I think that's one expansion where people were like, that was not too bad. Anything else, Miss Pandaria, people didn't really like. Warlords of Draenor, people hated. Unless you were, of course, raiding. Raiding was actually pretty good, I heard. Cataclysm, people really didn't like. Of course, BFA people really didn't like, and now Shadowlands. So it seems like Legion was the only one where people were like, yeah, it's alright. It's just amazing to see just so many people drop off. And to tell you the truth, I'm kind of glad it's happening. I mean, I don't know everything that's going on, of course. I'm not part of the boardroom or anything, but it just seems that Blizzard's, or Activision Blizzard's philosophy now is, oh, we lost a bunch of subscribers. It's okay, just make a new mount, release it, and we'll compensate the loss of subscribers that way. It's like, yeah, we got 1 million less subscribers, but we got 1 million people buying this pet. There you go, it'll even it out. Just make a new store mount, new pet or whatever. Just we'll make money that way. And it's slowly been going down that road where they're just trying to compensate the loss of subscribers. The income through the loss of subscribers would just pet this and mount that and whatever weird cosmetic shit. I mean, every time I go to retail WoW, sometimes I venture to retail WoW, at least I used to before, when I was still had my subscription. I would log on, and the entire one capital city was just a giant clown fiesta of just all these different mounts. And I looked at this like, what the hell is this, man? I don't know, I didn't like it at all. But yeah, it just seems that philosophy, they kind of shot themselves in the foot. They were a little bit lackluster in that regard. I don't know, I just really didn't like it. And it's like I said in my previous videos, I just did the extreme lackluster management and feedback from them through classic TBC is, with the way they handled bots. They once did maybe twice they did a flat bot ban where they banned X amount of bots. And there were people I know that, this is all hearsay, but there's people that I indirectly knew that were running bots on the server and everything, and he claimed that none of his bots were hit. Well, no, whether this was all true or not, who knows, but I have no doubt believing that it's actually true, because that flat bot ban, banned some bots, but it's, it really did not matter in the grand scheme of things. I've seen so many rogues just wandering around in Blackrock depths, pickpocketing, and now we have it in slave pens where bots are just farming that place for like herbs and stuff like that. It's just so crazy, man. It's so crazy. And of course the classic, the current classic servers, like the vanilla classic servers that just, let me give that guy a cheer. The current classic servers that are just completely dead. Blizzard released a survey, but they have no real plans. They don't acknowledge it, like, hey, we know the classic servers are dead, but don't worry, here's what we're working on. We're gonna merge these, or don't worry, we have fresh classic servers on the way. Look at the early development or some plans we have. It's just this Q&A they had, and that's pretty much it. So I don't know, man. But it's really good that other private servers have stepped up, so to say, to provide people a home. That's Darrowshire, of course, and Darrowshire right now is still trucking along quite nicely. It has a good amount of population. It's no Nostarius in terms of population. It doesn't have like tens of thousands of people playing. It still has a couple of thousand people playing, which is really nice for a private server. And pretty much anyone I speak when it comes to Darrowshire is very happy with the way the server is. How well it's scripted, the smoothness, and just the community. People really seem to like it. Here, look at this, man. I'm just getting random buffs from people. That's just really cool. Let me just accept these quests here. I have no real plans leveling here. I'm just, quickly checking out the server again, see how it's going. Nice. Immolate. And there we go. So yeah, to tell you the truth, guys, it is kind of sad to see Blizzard in a state like this. To some degree. Like I said, I'm glad it's happening, but it is a little sad. I don't know, Blizzard is one of those college, buddies you had in college that, when you met them, you knew they were capable of doing great things in their life because they were, they had good work ethics and had a good moral compass. And then slowly but surely you realize that he's actually, a bit of a prick, excuse my French, and that he's, he completely changed his ways and he got himself into bad situations. And, at one point you feel bad for him, at the other point you feel like, it's like, yeah, you get what you deserve. It's based on, you made the poor decisions. Now you face the consequences. But it doesn't mean that it still kind of hurts a little bit. Fun story, actually. The first time I played a Blizzard game was when they weren't even called Blizzard. For those of you that still know, Blizzard used to be called Synapse and Silicon. And this was like way in the 90s or something. And there was this game they made called Lost Vikings, which was a 2D platformer where you had to control 3 Vikings, and each Viking had a different skill. Like one could jump and race, or like run, and one could shoot an arrow, and the other had a shield and everything. It was a really cool platformer, actually, like a 2D platformer. And that was the first game I played from them when they were still called Synapse and Silicon. It was a really cool game. And of course, later on, I did not play Warcraft 1 or Warcraft 2 because at that time, I was way more into Command & Conquer with Red Alert, the first Red Alert, which was awesome, Red Alert 2, which was awesome. And then eventually I got back into Blizzard with Warcraft 3. Another funny story is my brother used to have this subscription to a game magazine. I think it was called PC Zone or something like that, which was a pretty popular magazine where I lived. And it was a pretty expensive subscription, but the magazine itself was really nice. And with each magazine, you got a demo of a CD with the magazine with a bunch of game demos on them. And one of them was Warcraft 3. And it only contained the first stage of the Orc campaign, where Thrall is has this vision of Medivh, or is visited by him in his I don't know, his dreams or whatever. And he has to escape and travel to Kalimdor. So that's the first part only. And I got really intrigued, and it was really weird. It was kind of weird for me playing it because, I wasn't used to having units with special abilities. I wasn't, used to hero units, and wasn't used to having upkeep or a population. But I really enjoyed it. It had a very nice kind of feel to it. It felt very polished. It played really well. And of course later I discovered World of Warcraft when one of my buddies was playing it. The classic scenario of you going over to your buddy's house and then seeing the hot new game. And of course, because they're playing it, you want to play it. So I went out there and bought it. And slowly but surely it turned into this thing I just can't support anymore. Financially, ethically, which I know is a bit hypocritical because I'm playing on private servers, but it's just the thing. I don't have to support them financially. It's free, which it would be really shitty if you would hate a company and you would willingly, voluntarily give them $15 every single month. That would be a bit of a weird abusive relationship. So yeah, that's kind of the things I want to ramble about. I think it's very interesting what's happening right now. I've never seen this big of a drop-off in terms of subscribers and content creators even. All jumping ship to things like Final Fantasy, New World, which I think had over 1 million players in the beta, which is just amazing. It's pretty impressive. And I'm glad it's happening because, it's just, I think Blizzard just deserves it. I think they did a really bad job with Shadowlands. I think they really did a really poor job of managing Classic. And of course, I know some fault is, due to the players with the more world buff meta and everything. But, they're completely lackluster management with the bots. Almost no, how do you say, the feedback of the community mostly falling on deaf ears. I think it was DevCamp or Cargos. At least DevCamp that said that it would be really great if Blizzard would have some sort of a Classic dedicated podcast where they would just talk about updates. And, they also have a Q&A section, some form of that little extra engagement, which would be really nice. But, it's Activision Blizzard, and I have no doubt that the Classic TBC team or the Classic team is, very excited about their project, very passionate, but they just get they always have to justify their, what they want to do to Activision. And they go over there and they say, we want to do this, or we want, this for the Classic TBC, more bots, or more community managers, or more people working on banning bots. And then Activision's like, well, that's gonna hurt our bottom line by X and Y, and it's gonna upset the shareholders because Z and whatever. It's just, there's some articles that came out of people speaking out that claim to be former employees of Blizzard that said these exact few things, that it was always Blizzard and Activision banging heads, and Blizzard wanting to do X and Y but not getting the resources from Activision to actually do it. It's just a messy situation, man. I mean, maybe the merger way back then when it happened made sense, but I really think it didn't do a whole lot of good for them. So yeah, I think I'll end the video here. I've said what I wanted to say. A little bit of a history from how I got it. Well, my first Blizzard game, the huge content and subscriber drop off, and how I've over the years tried to compensate for that with just do another pet or make another mount or whatever. It just doesn't work anymore, and I'm glad that people are dropping by the masses. I mean, I really hope Blizzard kind of wakes up and does some drastic changes, or at least Activision sees that the way current things are currently going, it just doesn't work. So I really hope they kind of turn their ship around and go back to the old days. I know that's maybe a little bit of a stretch, but who knows? Who knows what will happen when Blizzard and Activision get really desperate and they see all their customers going over to other games. So yeah, that's kind of what I want to talk about. Sorry, Bora, for this kind of rambly video. It's more, off the cuff than normal, but I don't know. For once, I didn't want to make a very, fancy schmancy video and just talk to you guys straight up. I've kind of felt like doing it. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. And this has been the Hamsterwheel, of course, on the Darrowshire private server, which is a fresh vanilla server that recently launched. I'll leave a link down in the description if you want to check it out. It's actually a pretty cool private server that I wholeheartedly support right now. And yeah, I'll be back pretty soon with another video. But until then, I'm Hamsterwheel, and have a good one.